Well, how's everyone doing? Don't mind me while I go through my phone and while I distract myself from that which was the garbage. And that was the ending to SmackDown. SmackDown, to me, was a very, very up and down show. Maybe up and down is maybe me being too nice about this show tonight because I don't know about anybody else, but this show to me was a mixed bag. And that is honestly, I think, the best that I can put it. I think I have crickets outside my house. Maybe you guys can hear that, maybe you can't, but I hear a cricket. Make it as low as like, and that was the sound I think a crowd would be making at the end of SmackDown tonight. Because SmackDown tonight, just to me, sucked. It sucked bad. I did not like SmackDown at all tonight. I just didn't. For me, SmackDown tonight was a horrible, horrible show. I am going to go out on a limb. Okay, let me take it back. It was not a horrible show. The SmackDown tonight was definitely not a good show. I did not enjoy it. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they are setting up Otis versus Corbin at Backlash. I'm assuming we're getting the Viking Raiders taking on the Street Profits at Backlash. I don't know if that's been announced yet. I haven't checked WWE.com. I haven't even recorded my preview and predictions yet. I just might do that live tomorrow. I don't know yet. But I know I'm going to do it. SmackDown, man, it was a mixed bag. There was a couple things that I enjoyed, but to me, the rest of it was just meh. And then we had the, I will say, absolute best match on SmackDown we will see all year. WWE wants to give the moniker of the greatest wrestling match ever for Randy Orton versus Edge this weekend at Backlash. But this match, it isn't even going to be the best match of the week. It's not even going to be the best match of the week. That goes to AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental Championship. Sure, the ending was a little anticlimactic, and I see they tried. It was a little anticlimactic. Oh, and Sidekick Susie's in the house. Hi. I love you. But I'll save that. I'll save my whole rant about Backlash until I get to the review or to the preview. But how can they call that the greatest match ever? And we had this match tonight on SmackDown that was, no pun intended, phenomenal. It was phenomenal. I'll get into that. I'll get into all of it, everything that happened tonight. That's just kind of my initial thoughts. I can't say I really enjoyed SmackDown tonight. It just lacked in places. We really didn't get any more build towards Backlash. Not that probably many people care, but I don't know. I would love to hear everyone's thoughts in the comments and everything, but let's go ahead and let's get into SmackDown. Let's do this review. I honestly thought about just not doing it and just watching it and just giving my thoughts and being done with it, but I love you too. But here I am. So this is your SmackDown review for June 12th, 2020. Of course, SmackDown, as always, from the PC. This is the COVID era. SmackDown started off with, how do I put this? Controversial, I think. Rumors did come up this past week about spoilers for this segment tonight. Spoilers for SmackDown this week. And this was talked about, and it pretty much went how it was spoiled. The contract signing for Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy at Backlash was done at the opening of this show. Sheamus comes out with a bunch of guys, some security, a doctor, and some black setup, a barrier, if you will. So Jeff Hardy makes his way out, and it's explained that he wants, before he'll ever go through this match, he wants Jeff Hardy to take a piss test. Because, as he puts it, he is a junkie. So, yeah, that's a thing. So, Sheamus, yes, he admits that Jeff Hardy was cleared of all wrongdoing, but whether it's the booze or the pills, he's not stepping into the ring with a junkie. Hardy says that, "Hi, I am Jeff Hardy. I am an alcoholic." He says, "I'm tired of fighting. I've been fighting for years." He says, "Since my 20s. It really goes like, I can appreciate the sentiments. I appreciate Hardy and his reactions and how he did this. And it's, again, like last week, it felt like Hardy was being genuine. But he says that he's been fighting with his demon, and he's starting to just let it happen. He's done fighting. He says, and sometimes seeing bastards like him helps." Sheamus basically goes on to tell him that he needs to just do this. So Jeff Hardy goes in, he starts taking the piss test, that the doctor's going to watch him. He talks about how, it takes 24 hours for the results to come back. But hey, that. Take some more shots about Jeff and his family. During the whole thing where Jeff's talking about, he goes to these meetings every week. He talks about how he's failed his family. He talks about how he, failed his fans. Jeff really opens up here. And again, I appreciate what Jeff did. But he goes in to take the piss test. Sheamus continues to say, "Oh, and while he's doing this, here's a public service announcement. If you're a person who uses drugs, you're a loser." And he keeps going on, and he starts to batter Jeff when Jeff comes back out. And finally, Jeff just has enough. He says, "There's an old saying, it's better to be pissed off." And he takes the cup, throws it in Sheamus's face, and walks out. Sheamus is selling it. "Oh my God, I got piss all over me." Ah. It was funny. They come back from commercial break. Sheamus is in the bathroom cleaning up. The doctor comes back and says, "Hey, Jeff's results came back. They're negative." And Sheamus gets mad and starts, punching things, etc., etc. I'm of the mindset, while I did have reservations at the beginning with this, ultimately, I don't have an issue with it. I understand where they were going with this. This is supposed to be Jeff's, this is supposed to be his redemption, I suppose. And yes, Susie, I am aware. This is supposed to be his redemption, or it's supposed to be family entertainment, but it's WWE, hun. It's WWE, hun. I don't know what to tell you. And we're not done with these guys for the night. But I don't think this was as controversial as some people may have thought it was. I think Jeff having to take a piss test in front of Renee Young and everybody, in the way that they are grossly presenting his whole thing to everybody, may for some become offensive, and I get that. But for me, coming from a background where my father is an alcoholic, I'm okay with it. Jeff Hardy's okay with it. I don't think they would go out of their way to do this without his permission. Yes, this is all still new. He still is in the process. He'll always be in the process of recovering. And if I had one gripe, I think it'd be that it's too soon. It's too soon that they're doing this, I think, would be my gripe. So, excuse me, guys, I had to fix that. But that would be it for me honest to God, that would be, for me, that would be my biggest gripe. It's just that I think it's too soon. So we go to a New Day versus Shinsuke Nakamura Cesaro match. I guess they're officially a tag team. Props to Big E and Kofi Kingston, who kneel and raise their fists in unity with the black community. I appreciated that. I like that. Big E, though, the match was okay. This was an okay tag team match. Big E launches Kofi, it didn't really do much in the beginning, but Big E launches Kofi Kingston over the top rope, who lands on Nakamura. Cesaro, though, ends up getting control on the outside. Big E, when they come back from commercial break, is being worn down. He gets a hot tag to Kofi Kingston, who is on fire, hits the boom drop. Cesaro, though, pulls Kofi Kingston neck first over the ropes, allowing Nakamura to try to take advantage. But Kofi Kingston reverses, I think what was supposed to be a sleeper, hits the SOX. That gets broke up by Cesaro, who then gets clotheslined out of the ring by Big E. Both men are starting to fight on the top rope. Kofi knocks Nakamura off. Kofi goes for a splash. He ends up getting caught by Nakamura and his knee, who then rolls Kofi up for a small package for a 3 count. It wasn't much of a match. I mean, truthfully, it just in fairness, yes, you didn't get to watch. I agree. It was a good match. This is probably just setting up for another match to take place at Backlash or maybe the pre-show. I'm sure they're going to fill it up. It is what it is. It's just getting them through the weeks. I'm going to assume with what happened with Jackson Riker on Twitter, they were going for a Forgotten Son angle, and that's just been kind of pushed out of the way. So I forgive them in this. I'm not holding this against them. I get it. So I think it's just setting up for something to come up in the future. So we see Otis and Tucker backstage. Tucky is trying to, say, hey, we're a team tonight. We have the 6-man tag. You need to focus, which means you got to use all your senses, not just your seeing. And he's putting stakes in his face, and then Mandy comes up, kisses him. She's like, Tucky, while I appreciate the motivation, and he takes off. Oh yeah, he does his little thing. It was funny. She says she wants to wish them luck. She gives him a kiss, and she walks away. And Otis starts, doing Otis things. And, Tucker's like, Otis, gotta focus. And then out of nowhere, you hear a commotion in the background, and we got Sheamus and Jeff Hardy fighting, backstage brawling, which has to be broken up. The Otis Tucker bit was hilarious. I'm glad to see them back together. I pray that they're not going to break them up. But I still think they're going to focus on Otis as a singles guy, which I guess. More Hardy and Sheamus. The brawl was okay. It wasn't much. It was just a quick brawl. So I'm cool with that. But nice segment to just kind of go into what took up. I'm just going to. Yeah. They do a promo package about the Intercontinental Championship, about its history and its champions. And then it goes into a bit about Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles and the roads that they took to get to the finals of this tournament. And look, spoilers ahead. If you have not watched SmackDown and you don't want to know, skip this. Give me some time. I don't know how long I'm going to go on about this. This is to let you know I'm starting. And this is to let you know that I'm done if you don't want it. So you can mute the video. I will talk. And when I do this, you know that I'm good, that I'm done talking about this if you don't want to know. But the promo package was brilliantly done. It showed all the different champions and how they talk about being Intercontinental Champion. And it was great. So we get the finals of the Intercontinental Championship Tournament. Spoiler start in 3, 2, 1. This match, and if you're still here and you didn't want to know, it's on you. You've been warned. But this match, man, this went the better part of an hour. It took up almost a full hour. And that was spoiled. I heard the spoiler during the week from Steven Larson and everybody, but It did. It took almost a full entire hour of this show. The match, this match, it was amazing. Like, forget what they did last year or over a year ago when they had their title shots, their title matches for the WWE Championship. This paled in comparison. This was such a fantastic match. My goodness. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to break this match down and go over it because I have 2 pages of notes for this match. It was that insane. And it was literally a back and forth match. Neither man was able to outdo the thank you, Susie. I'm glad that you are. But it was a back and forth battle. It was a war of attrition, and I have not seen a wrestling match this good in so long. This was to me like AEW levels of good. That's how I felt. So we're going to get into it though. So the match starts out with both men just kind of feeling each other out. AJ though does take a cheap shot at Daniel in the corner. They do end up kind of getting to the outside, AJ rolling out of the ring. Bryan, though, does a suicide dive onto Styles to the outside. Bryan then starts working over Styles, who then, coming off the ropes, ends up getting hit with a beautiful drop kick. I love the rotation that AJ has when he does this, how he just rotates through it. It's beautiful. So we are. Okay, so you get some more back and forth. Daniel Bryan, though, starts to work over AJ. He starts hitting some kicks in the corner. AJ, though, does counter into a pin. They have a series of pin attempts, a bridge that they get out of, and then some more reversals of the pins. Finally, both men are running off of the ropes to do a crossbody onto each other, and they collide. Both men trying to get the advantage, though. Bryan starts to work over the arm, ends up getting catapulted to the outside of the ring. AJ goes to the outside, starts beating him up, but then gets pushed and rammed into the post shoulder first, where Bryan then starts to work the arm. And he actually takes Bryan's arm onto the ropes and stomps it. It looked horrible. He gets back in the ring. He continues to manipulate the joint of the arm and the wrist and continues to work it over. Like, just brutal shots. Like, it looked kind of painful, honestly. Let's see, where am I? So AJ, though, does fight back, starts to work Daniel Bryan's knee and his leg. Actually, at one point, grabs the knee and just kind of like drops over the apron, just ripping at the knee. Big insecurity, though, by Daniel Bryan. AJ goes for a phenomenal forearm, but Daniel Bryan kicks him, dropping him across the top rope. Some more kicks in the corner. Daniel Bryan starts to build momentum, hits some yes kicks. AJ, though, does duck it. Hits some multiple strikes, elbows, fists, etc. Daniel Bryan ducks the last one, hits him with a kick, then AJ just goes in ham and ends up hitting this big lariat, turning Daniel Bryan inside out. We come back from commercial break. Both men, there was like 5 commercial breaks during this match. It was a long match. We come back, though, from commercial break. Both men are hitting each other with some moves. AJ, though, does get tossed to the outside. Daniel Bryan goes for another dive, but AJ counters that with an elbow, knocking Bryan down. Bryan, though, ends up getting him into a cross arm breaker. AJ, though, counters that into a calf crusher, which then gets countered by Daniel Bryan, who ends up hitting him with a big spin kick. Almost talking about he only gets a 2 count. Both men are on the top rope fighting. AJ keeps pushing Daniel Bryan off, but finally Daniel Bryan, on the 3rd attempt, gets AJ, hits him with a huge top rope side suplex. Both men are down. They go to another commercial break. Bryan is Irish whipped, tries to counter by jumping and flipping over AJ, hurts his knee. AJ then moonsaults onto Daniel Bryan. I believe he did the DDT. I kind of missed it. Then Bryan tries to fight back, gets hit by an Pele by AJ Styles, who then hits a brainbuster to only get a 2 count. Both men by this point are already looking exhausted, and I think we were only about halfway through at this point. Bryan then gets an ankle lock, then counters that into a German. AJ tries to fight out of it as Bryan attempts another one, but then Bryan hits him with a German into a bridge for a 2 count. Bryan finally gets the yes lock locked in. AJ, though, does get his foot on the rope. Both men, again, they just looked exhausted by this point. Daniel Bryan starts, grabs AJ's arm, starts stomping his head into the mat, goes in the corner, starting to build his momentum. He's feeling it. Some yes chants in the corner, goes for that running knee. AJ, though, catches him, sets him up into a Styles clash, hits it, but AJ too exhausted to go for the pin. AJ, though, does get up, gets to the ropes, hits a phenomenal forearm for the 1, 2, and the 3. AJ Styles is your new Intercontinental Champion. And my God, this match. Just talking about it, I'm exhausted. But this match, no pun intended, was phenomenal. It was... I don't have words. After the match, Renee Young interviews AJ Styles, asks him what it means to him now to be a champion. He says, like I said, I am the best WWE champion ever in WWE. And he says, that's phenomenal. And he falls and he collapses. Duh, because the dude's exhausted. I would love to see these guys go at it again at like Backlash or whatever. But I don't know if they could top what they did here. Honest to God, I don't know if they could top this. I think it would be very, very hard for them to do it. But again, this match, oh my God, this is a wonderful match. This is what I wanted to watch SmackDown for tonight. If I talked about nothing else, I wanted to talk about this. I loved this match. It was, again, no pun intended, but it was phenomenal. I'm just going to say it. If WWE thinks that Edge and Randy Orton can top what happened tonight, and then seriously try to call it the greatest wrestling match ever, they're out of their damn minds. There won't even be the best match of the week or the month. This was the best match of the month, of the week. This match could be match of the year candidate, and it was a TV match. I wish they had held this off for the pay-per-view. Now watch, I'll probably, in the morning when I go to do my last second check so I can do my preview and predictions, watch they give them a rematch. Which I'll be fine with, but I'll be hesitant because I'll be a little bit worried that maybe it won't live up to what this match did. But that all aside, it was fantastic. I loved this match. It was awesome. No pun intended for the Miz. But it was the highlight of the show. Without a doubt. This was the highlight of tonight's show. It was amazing. It was amazing. Honest to God, it was amazing. So we get some highlights. Oh, sorry, yeah. Spoilers over for those who wanna know. We get some highlights from last week's stuff with Braun Strowman and Miz and Morrison. And then we get a promo by Braun Strowman who says, Miz and Morrison vowed to make his life hell. He says, but his window can be fixed. He says, but what can't be fixed is what he's going to do to Miz and Morrison this Sunday. And he says, as far as Mr. Money in the Bank goes, he likes Otis. He says, but if him and Tucker try anything, tonight is not the night. He has no problems, if they watched last week, no problems smashing some heavy machinery. Ooh. So we get, I'm sorry, I'm just going to talk about it. Again, it goes with the main event. I just honestly didn't care about this main event. I'm just going to be real. We get Banks and Bayley, Sasha Banks and Bayley, having a championship celebration. Sasha comes out looking on point, like she always does. Her hair, her eyes, her clothes, everything's on point. Because Sasha's the legit boss, and she's on point. She knows her shit. Bailey comes out acting like Bailey has been, going crazy. Oh, yeah, look at me. They do some selfies with Meytal Cohan. Okay, that's cool. Bailey says, they say it's lonely on top, and it is. She says, except she has her best friend with her on top, so it's not very lonely. Sasha says that they said they'd get those titles back whenever they were ready. Says that these championships represent their friendship. Represents their friendship. That, that they've done everything there is to do in the WWE. It says that together, they're unstoppable. Sure they are. Out comes Nikki and Alexa, who say they like parties, some bantering, and then on the screen is the Iconics. And they're talking about, they beat Alexa and Nikki. They beat down the champions, took the titles from them in their first reign. That they don't want to be left laying like they were this past Monday in Raw, not to turn their backs on Nikki and Alexa, who then attack Sasha and Bailey. It was just a build, I guess. This was just to try to build towards the pay-per-view, I guess. It did okay. It wasn't much of a build, but it was fine. I don't mind it. I'm going to move on. I'm just going to move on. It was okay. Interviews with The Miz and John Morrison, who, when Kayla says, sorry to talk about last week, they kind of say, oh, sorry about getting slammed, but hey, you're being talked about. She's like, I was going to talk about what she tried to do to Braun Strowman last week and his reaction. They're like, hey, we're sick of Braun Strowman's threats. They said, which is why we made a new music video, which was, I think, Hey, Hey, Hey. So they intro the video, it starts, they're playing pianos, and then it immediately gets cut off by Braun Strowman, you hear the sound of a train running and steam, and then it goes into the music. I guess his intro is new. It kind of reminded me of A-Train, because when A-Train would come out, he'd have that with the ting, 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 and the smoke. They basically copy and pasted that onto Braun Strowman, and there you go. That's what we get now. Cool beans. So that leads into the six-man tag main event. I'm going to be honest with you. I watched it. Yes, Susie, Sasha is sexy as hell. That's what I wanted to say. Sasha is sexy as hell. Susie's not here. Susie's out driving, so she's watching the review. But I didn't watch it. I didn't watch this match. I watched it, but I found feeding my dragon to be a little bit more important than watching the main event. I just had no will to watch. What can I say? If I'm just being honest. So it was Braun Strowman and Heavy Machinery versus The Miz, John Morrison, and Dolph Ziggler. I do know Baron Corbin went to the back, started asking questions to Mandy Rose about his crown last week, said it was okay, if she did, it was fine, just let him know if it was her idea. That, she was fantasizing about a big, strong man in power. She was fantasizing about him. Otis ran to the back, immediately got back there and attacked Baron Corbin. Again, I think it's going to set up for a match. Okay. So it basically puts the match to 3-on-2, where Braun Strowman's taken out, Tucker is being worked over, but finally Otis returns to the ring with Mandy. Otis gets the hot tag, goes in, clears the ring. Strowman's on the outside. He runs the ring, knocks Miz into the freaking plexiglass, almost killing him. Same thing with John Morrison. Then he throws Dolph Ziggler into the barricade, throws him back in the ring, where he gets hit with the Caterpillar. 1, 2, 3. That was your main event. I didn't care. I don't care about the Miz versus Braun Strowman and John Morrison, Miz versus them. I don't care. Don't really care. Strowman's title reign starting to he's talking about this big Strowman Express. The Strowman Express is starting to become like the Strowman Sloth. His train is losing speed, people. His train is losing speed. We need the Fiend back. The Fiend needs to go after him and just needs to take that freaking title off of him. Please. Please let that happen. Again, SmackDown was it was just there. I'll put it that way. SmackDown was just there. Nothing special, nothing that stands out outside of Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles for that Intercontinental Championship. I won't lie. I mean, I laughed at a couple of things. I laughed at Tucker and Otis. I thought that was funny. But no doubt the standout of the show was Bryan and Styles, and I'm stuck on it because it was so damn good. It was phenomenal. I know I say that, and I'm not trying to be funny or punny, but it was great. It was just great. I don't know what to say. But that's it for me, man. That's my SmackDown review. I have nothing else left to say. Other than, hey, if you guys want to help support the channel, like this video, hit that subscribe button, and share it to your friends and let them know that we're here. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of SummerSlam. I got a little more than 2 months, about 2 months. So I can do it. I believe I can get there. I just want to hit that 100 subscribers, that 100 subs goal. If you guys don't want to do that, and that's the best way, the cheapest way, I would appreciate it the most. Just watch the video and hit the like button. You guys can go to StreamLabs and donate at StreamLabs, or you guys can go to Patreon, become a Patreon member. Then I can start posting stuff on Patreon for you guys to do. Lots of stuff will come there once I actually have, everyone there. So it's not necessary, but it is there for those who want it. So that's it. I'm done rambling. That was SmackDown. AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan. Go watch it. It was awesome. That's the only spoiler I'm going to give you guys. But thank you guys so very much for coming in and watching SmackDown. I am Zach from the Yo Bro Nation. And remember, join the nation. See you later.